everyone. How is everyone? Happy Tuesday. I know you'll be like, Jesus Christ, Willow, we haven't seen you for a while. Well, that's because I've always been paranoid about what you can see up close with the camera, but can't see. So that's why I've got the camera on now, because you can't see up close.
Yeah.
As everyone. How's everyone? Tim.
Hello.
I just want to say hello, so I'm not being rude.
Yeah.
Now, Richard and Mr. Wayne is coming on at some point. What point?
Yes.
I don't know what point, but they will be here, guys.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
How is Lynn and Tim today?
Oh, we've had a lovely time today. We've been to the secret cave.
Oh, did you finally get to go then?
Yeah. Yeah, we loved it. He's absolutely loved it. Went to the Folly. He loved that.
Oh.
So there's only so much you can do in one day, isn't there? I've been working as well. Yeah, I've been to work. Been to work. Been to the dentist as well. Had a checkup.
Lucky you, because honestly, I cannot wait until. Hi, Wayne. Wayne's coming on. Here he is. The man's looking on. Oh, it's no Wayne. It's someone else.
It's an alien.
Take me to your leader.
1, 2.
Sorry.
Wait, I would be happy if you take me to your leader.
Sitting next to me eating Chinese. Well, no, she was.
I'm jealous. I'm bloody jealous. How are you, Mr. Buffoonery?
Recovering. Very long weekend. 800-mile round trip down to the Jamaica Inn in Cornwall.
Oh, how did it go?
How did it go?
What an awesome place. I've been past it so many times and always said to myself, I'm going. And I never did. And then I got the opportunity to go down there to do some work. And, got down there. We missed, I think it was the first hour and a half because we were running a bit late. But we got in there. We started off up in the hotel rooms. And I got the privilege of sleeping in room 4.
Right.
Which is supposedly one of the haunted rooms. And I had something happen while I was asleep in there. So it was quite interesting when I woke up the following morning to discover it. But I'm annoyed that I didn't lock off the camera in the room while I was asleep. And Nick Stepani was in the room next door to me, which is supposedly the most haunted room.
Okay.
But as soon as he went to sleep, that was it. He was dead to the world. So nothing happened to him as far as anybody knows. And the other 2 that were with us were at the other end of the hotel above the museum. But I think the biggest thing that happened was whilst in the museum, we had set up a load of trigger objects from one end to the middle section of the museum, starting off with a dead bell, which was sitting in front of a cabinet that had a paratrooper's uniform in from Operation Market Garden.
Right.
And then we had a few other little trigger objects leading into the middle of the room where we had 2 Rem bears sitting in the middle of the floor. And we were sitting there, and then one of the girls, Claire, she turned around and said, I can see a pair of feet the other side of that display case. And then all of a sudden the dead bell went off.
That's good. Interesting.
Kelly went, oh, wow. And poor Claire, she jumped up and went, oh, my word. And she ran over to Claire to get out the way because there was a display case between us in our section and where this dead bell was. Then all of a sudden, the next trigger object went off. Then the next trigger object went off. And it went in sequence right into the middle of the room. And then the REM beds started going off. And I went, oh my God. And then it just went quiet, just went dead. So we walked out, had a couple of minutes and went back in, and the atmosphere had completely changed. And I just turned around and said, whatever it was passing through.
Yeah.
I said it started off where the uniform was and worked its way down to where we were and then just left the room. It was, wow.
Do you know the guy that used to own it? Do you think he's haunting the place, or is he still resident there?
I don't know. I mean, on the night, we never picked anything up like that. We picked up 2 children, one called George and one called Jimmy, up in room 7.
Right.
But even up there, we had some weird stuff going on. We had a mirror that was vibrating against the wall.
That's interesting.
But that wall, the other side of it is the stairwell. If you were to be able to break through that wall, you'd be in thin air above the stairs. And
there was nobody there walking up and down the stairs.
No one walking up and down the stairs. There's no. You can hear the machine, the extractor fans from the kitchens, and stuff like that. But you could clearly hear the vibrations on the mirror.
Yeah.
Where the mirror was tapping against the wall. You pushed your finger against the mirror and the tapping would stop. As soon as you took your finger off, it started again. But you put your hand on the wall and you could not feel the vibrations at all.
There was no drafts in there.
No drafts. Fairly modern bedroom as well. No windows were open. No doors were open.
What type of bricks or stone is in that place? They're using for the walls.
There is a lot of old stones, but that part of the Jamaica Inn is sort of fairly new.
Yeah.
So it's more modern materials. And I think that was when they obviously must have refurbished it and renovated the rooms and moved them about to get more space in there.
Yeah.
But literally the stairwell, you come out of room 7, turn right and right again, and you're on the stairwell that runs down the side of the room.
Right.
Nick took the mirror off the wall and put it back on again, and the rattling stopped. So, I mean, we did a few live feeds that night, and there's a lot of stuff there that sort of put a big question mark in our minds.
Is it an old mirror, Wayne, or a modern mirror?
Fairly modern.
Oh.
A lot of the stuff that's in the rooms is sort of fairly new. They're not old, antiques.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the older section of the pub where me and Nick were sleeping, all of the furniture there was some of it was the old, but some of it was also sort of old looking.
Yes, there's a difference, isn't there? Yeah.
So it was made to look old for the look of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the rooms were all sort of prim and proper. They'd been well looked after, renovated, redecorated. I mean, even the telephones looked like something out of the 1920s.
Oh,
but they had the modern, but they had the modern ringtone on it. And it was weird, but it certainly was an awesome place. And I'm going back there in November, so.
Oh, very nice. How much is it to go there, Wayne? How much do they charge for that?
Pass, because I didn't have to pay.
Well, he's coming back.
Guys, I'm going to quickly get into the comments. Hi, B. Who has seen Disclosure Day? I haven't seen it. Hi, Nigel. Hope you're well. Nigel says he's still half and half. I put a post on my Facebook page out. Oh, I hope you're well, Nigel. Good luck. Hey, Martin. I've not got my singing voice on tonight. Well, actually, I have since you're in the chat. Papa. Mind you, I put Love Shack because Wayne had got it stuck in my head. I'm sure
Love Shack.
Martin says, not sure I'm going to be able to stay on long. I've got swollen hands from work and now got a bloody toothache. Now, excuses. You just don't want to stay on because you find it fucking boring. Well, piss off. Hey, Nikki. Nikki is going to be joining us, guys, on Thursday, and I cannot wait. Woo, it'll be fun. It will be fun. Hey, William, hope you're well. And Martin's laughing. Who says I'm laughing? But yeah, guys, tune in on Thursday when we have Nikki. And you can ask him any questions, right? I want you to dig this guy. I want you to absolutely dig him with questions. I want you to fill him with questions. But tonight, guys, I thought Steven Spielberg, I think this guy's amazing. This guy is a genius and he's done some amount of films. And when you said about the war over the worlds, I thought, fuck. Yeah, that's one he directed. So I'll try and steer myself away from that film.
No, it's okay. I mean, like, when he released it, I thought, all right,
I didn't say hey, William.
I thought that would be worth a watch. But the problem was I watched it and I was hugely disappointed. It was a good film. You know, don't get me wrong, it's a good film, but it betrayed H.G. Wells.
Do you know what? I had the same thought. Honestly. I love that film. But when you've been a bit of a fan, like I'm the same as you, I love all the War of the Worlds stuff. I've got stuff here. Yeah, it's all here. And I love I love it being talked through. I love the old films. I love the original films, and absolutely amazing. So it was a bit up in the air when you're expecting things to happen or not. It's sort of following. And do you know what never ever got out of my head is when they were hiding in that cellar. And those aliens came down. Do you know what? When you look at how they developed the look of them aliens, but I've had that in my head for many years. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, wow, they brought them to life, really. And the fact that it was all the blood. Did you see when they took them up in them cages and they were getting picked out? Yeah. And they were sort of like getting rid of the blood, weren't they?
But this was the thing. Well, they weren't getting rid of the blood. They were using the blood for their sustenance.
Yeah, blood weed.
Because they were taking the blood and injecting it into their own veins. It was their source of nutrient.
Yeah.
And then obviously what was left came out as the red weed.
Yeah.
But there were aspects of it where they stuck to the original story, but obviously the whole thing was centered around Victorian England.
Yeah.
Particularly London. And I think if Steven and Spielberg had have stuck with the original format, the way H.G. Wells wrote it, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Because what it was doing was portraying that America is great, they're the best in the world. And look what we did. We killed the aliens, which is like Independence Day and so many other alien UFO films.
But do you know what?
They should have stuck with the England side of it. They should have stuck with the way H.G. Wells had written it, and it would have been so much better.
I must admit, right? He done a trilogy that I absolutely loved. I'm just knocking everything down. He done a trilogy that I absolutely loved, and that was Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
I love Indiana Jones. I must admit, Harrison.
It was a quadrilogy.
It was
because they did a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as well.
I love that film. Love it. Do you know why I loved it?
Because it had aliens in it.
It did, yeah. Yes, Mark.
It had my friends in.
Nikki says, love H.G. Wells, one of my favourite authors. And William says, eat your heart out, Sidney Weaver. Martin says, sorry to say it, always about Americanish things like the Italian Job. Fuck you, Martin. Can I just say, I liked the Italian Job. I liked the original and I liked the American one. But I must admit, I liked the original better because Michael Caine, because I always think of Wayne.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Wayne.
See, I like the original. I like the.
My name is Michael Caine.
And
not a lot of people know that.
I like the music in the second one. I like the music.
But I need to go back and watch all the Indiana Jones and watch The Dial of Destiny. I would love to see that again. I just see every time I've not been able to bring myself to watch it again because obviously that's around the time my gran was in the hospital and she was dying, and I've not been able to bring myself around to watching it again.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to, because I think I would love to see it again, definitely. But I love Harrison Ford. Definitely. That Dan good impression here. That Dan good impression.
That's a damn good impression he means.
But he has done really other good films. I must admit, he really has. I mean, he's done like Jurassic Park. No, I've got to admit, Jeff Goldblum. Oh, he's another good actor. I like him.
You go weak at the knees. You say Jeff Goldblum, and they go,
Yeah, I can't. I'm a sucker for that guy. I am a sucker for that guy.
I mean,
He's cool, isn't he? He's a dead cool guy. Yeah.
He is.
Very cool.
I mean, Steven Spielberg has got a habit of picking top class actors for his films.
Yeah.
You know, no matter when, you know, you look at any of his films that he's put out there, there's always been a top class actor somewhere in that film.
Yeah, it's true that. It's true. Like, I absolutely love Close Encounters. Oh my God. I'm going all thinking about that.
That's a good Jaws.
Film. He put him in from Jaws, doesn't he? Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh,
Jaws.
yeah.
And then he put him into Close Encounters. And he played the parts amazingly.
William says the video game Indiana Jones is really good. I've actually seen it. I've seen a few people play it. It does actually look really, really good. Martin says, it's my fingers are swollen, damn sausage fingers. Ha ha ha.
So,
do I feel sorry for you? No.
So did you know that a real life UFO expert and astronomer actually served as a technical advisor to Steven Spielberg in Close Encounters and appeared in the film?
Really?
I do know that.
Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who was the advisor, and he appears in the film towards the end when the craft comes down and swaps over the people that they'd taken.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. You know, I loved everything. I absolutely loved the way they created the look for the little aliens. They got all the children to wear those big fluffy things, didn't they? And it was perfect, absolutely perfect. I loved the way. Sorry, Wayne.
We've go on. No, go on. Sorry.
I loved. Do you know when that lady was chasing Barry?
Yep.
A little boy. Barry! He ran off to the woods. And then he ran up the road and he nearly run him over, didn't he? So that's how they met. But the fact was, it was those ice cream cone, like drones, if you like, coming over. Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely blew my mind, that did.
We've sort of like asked the questions that Steven Spielberg, when he has done films about aliens, has sort of like asked the question, is Steven Spielberg in knowledge of something, and he is drip feeding it to the public through his films? Because if you look at the likes,
wondered when I've looked at his film Independence.
yeah, well, I mean, you get Close Encounters, you've got E.T., you've got the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and then you know, War of the Worlds. These are all films that are giving you different perspectives to alien visitation.
Exactly.
And now we're getting closer and closer to disclosure. There's all these other spin-off films that are out there now where they're talking about alien abductions and alien visitations. And they're saying, well, was Spielberg right when he started doing, you know, Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going right back. When was it? 1977.
77 it was made, yeah.
I was 3 years old then.
Oh,
you know, and then E.T. comes out after that.
I was 18. I watched that. Listen to this, right? I had a 15-month-old toddler, and me and my first husband took a trip into Chester, and I bumped into my mum and her sister and her mother, my grandmother, and they were saying, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, we just come for a walk around, but we'd like to go and see that film there, but because we buy the pictures, but we can't. We've got the baby with us." I was 5 days over on my second child. So they took my little toddler home and we went and watched that film. On the bus home, I said, "Oh my God, look at the clouds. I've never seen clouds." Move.
You got worried and the UFO was going to come out of the clouds, weren't
you?
Yeah. Martin says, "Well, that's going to be handy for me to block my ears from you singing. Wait till we go to Rendlesham and I'm going to fuck with you there because I'm going to put cold water over the top of you." William says, "Does anyone know called Jack Parsons on here? Anyone called Jack Parsons? Look him up. Never heard of him."
Yeah, I'll have a look.
There's a lot of things like that in The Simpsons. Oh, Jack Parsons will start a debate on UFOs and occultism.
Yeah.
Talking about UFOs, this is like an off topic. Tonight, I think it is tonight, 9 p.m. on Sky History. Cal Cooper's on TV. Dr. Cal Cooper is on TV talking about UFOs.
Oh,
Good job. I don't have Sky then, isn't it?
Oh, come on, you.
No, we'll have Cal. We'll have Cal. I've got to get. I have to get my ugly sleep during the week.
That poor man. Just when it came to my head there, when we're talking about, British X-Files tonight at 9 p.m. on Sky History. There'll be him, Dr. Jack Hunter, Dr. David Clark, Deborah Hyde, and they're going to be talking about British X-Files. So there you go, folks. Don't miss Cal Cooper.
You'd think if they're going to be talking about British X-Files, you'd think Nick Pope would have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Bless him. Struggling at the moment, and because he's stage 4 cancer, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, my thoughts go with Nick Pope.
So all the best, Nick. But yeah, I mean, it's when you look at, I mean, Steven Spielberg himself, he's such a, like say, he's a diverse actor. He's been able to director with the Indiana Jones franchise, the UFO stuff, and then my favourite, and it always will be. I don't matter. I think Steven Spielberg could do another 100 films, but I don't think he'll ever beat Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What a film!
Do you know what struck me? Do you know? I mean, it struck me all right straight from the beginning. But what I was absolutely gobsmacked at, and I knew that it was the right
how realistic it is
when they landed on the beaches, right?
Yep.
And the weight, the things were drowning them. When they were getting onto the beach and they were going underwater, you could hear the bullets.
Yep.
Following them into the water. You could hit. That's amazing what they done there.
I mean, well, what they did with that was because I know a few people that were on the inside, but then what they did was they did ballistics tests. So they actually used ballistics dummies to see what damage a bullet would do when they fired it.
Right.
And not only just what a bullet would do when they fired it, but it's from that particular weapon.
Yeah.
So all the different weapons that would have been used, they went through tests with ballistics dummies so that they knew roughly what sort of damage they did so that they could put that through into the film itself and whether it was possible to do it in certain ways.
Yeah.
Things like when they were in the water and you could hear the bullets coming through, that was all done with microphones, and they actually fired the bullets into water to hear what the sound was.
Yeah.
And then so that they could put it into the film in an easier way, they then tested it again to make sure they could get the right sound.
Yeah.
And so Spielberg's sort of vision and his director of photography, perfect couple. You know, they teamed really, really well because Spielberg was able to put across his vision. The director of photography and director of sound were able to work out exactly how things needed to be and where to put them. And as a result, a masterpiece. I mean, I love anything to do, with World War II.
Yes.
But that was probably the best film that Spielberg had ever done regards to all of that. And then he followed it off with Band of Brothers.
Do you know my grand?
You know, him and Tom Hanks teamed together to do Band of Brothers. So it followed on from there, and it worked. And they used all the same technology and the same styles to do that as well. You know, so to me, any other film that comes along that Spielberg does is never going to beat Private Ryan.
No, but
absolutely love the film.
Martin said that's a great film, so well portrayed and little details made all the difference. William says, give me Jaws anytime, Lyle. Martin says some of the actors really nearly drowned and got hypothermia as it was so long in the water with the right webbed and kit.
Do you know what I liked? Do you know what I liked? I liked that the last film with the crystals, where they went into the jungle there.
Yeah.
Right. Was it Peru?
Somewhere like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was.
What it's supposed to be, wasn't it? But I just knew, I just know there's going to be a craft. I just know it's going to lift. It's going to lift, and it did. Didn't it? Amazing. Well,
I mean, when you've got, those crystal skulls, they do exist, and everybody looks at them as if to say, well, you know, our skulls aren't shaped like that. So where have they come from? The cut is so perfect.
Yeah.
How have they managed? You know, if they're so old, how have they managed to get that crystal so smooth? So to put that into a story, and it turns out that they are aliens, and you're thinking, right, well, okay, he's taken the myth of the crystal skulls. And the theory that everybody says they're aliens, and he's put it into Indiana Jones. What a combo!
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like
I'll tell you what. He knew, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I think he does.
I'll tell you what film in franchise that I didn't like, but I will cover it because people like it. but I absolutely hate the Transformer films.
Well, it's like for kids, Sarah. I think it's like for teenagers. Yeah.
Oh, they just annoy me. But Stephen likes them, and see when he puts them on, oh, you should see my face. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. And then I get the tablet, and then I'm like, I'll watch my own thing. But
and do you know what? I've got quite a few of these films that we're talking about, but The Colour Purple.
Well, sorry, when you said about Transformers, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, some name right, and my autistic brain took over. So I just looked and I was right. Steven Spielberg didn't do the Transformers films, so we don't have to worry about that.
No.
Oh, thank God.
I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm sure Michael Bay directed the Transformers movie. So
why did I think that Steven Spielberg did the Transformers then?
I don't know. Michael Bay directed, the last one he directed was The Last Night in 2017. Then Travis Knight directed one. And then Stephen Cable Jr. directed the latest one, The Rise of the Beast.
I will still need to cover it anyway, because I know there's folk out there that love the Transformers films. So I've got to look lively.
I think the problem is with films like that, where they do sequel after sequel after sequel, they start getting boring. I've got that with Jurassic Park to start off with. Awesome films, brilliant. Then it comes the second one. Yeah, really good film. Enjoyed that. Then the third one comes and you go, yawn.
It's all
and then you get to the next one and you're like, oh, for God's sake. And then the next one comes along and you're like, I'm just about ready to go into a coma.
No, because they put death.
Yeah, but they're so repetitive. The Police Academy films did the same thing. The first one was hilarious. The second one was funny. The third one was, same jokes again. Then fourth one, really? By the time you got to number 6, you're like, seriously, you're dragging the bottom of the barrel now. Yeah. And now the rumour is they're making a 7th one.
No.
And they're bringing Michael Winslow and Steve Guttenberg back.
Hi, Jen. Oh, hello. Where have you been fucking hiding?
We'd just been chatting with you before I came on here.
To be honest, I don't know many of the films. I used to really watch TV unless it's spooky or documentary or rugby. Rugby? Oh, that's good. I could throw you the ball and I could just run and spear you.
Yeah. And it's like William says about Poltergeist. Poltergeist. That was a brilliant film, that was.
It's like any movie franchise. The first couple are brilliant, but then they start dragging the bottom of the barrel, and you're like, seriously. The only one with the sequel on it I really did hate from the second one was Independence Day.
Yeah, I loved that.
They went way over the top. The first one was brilliant. Loved it. Then the second one, you're like, seriously, you expect us to believe that? And I'm thinking if they ever make a third one, they are going to make a pig's ear of it.
No, I really, really would love today. In fact, Wayne, I want you to get involved with this one, actually. Because when we talk about books, and we're talking about films and how books and films...
Yeah.
We should do that one night, because there is, as you're saying, there's quite a few books that don't match up to the films.
Well, like I said at the start, War of the Worlds is probably, that and another book. You've got Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. That was put into film, starring Harrison Ford, and that was Blade Runner.
Wow. Yeah.
And again, another book that put into film, although the film is awesome, the book has got so much more detail in it.
Shawshank.
And with War of the Worlds. But I mean, I'm going to do a bit of a selfish plug here. I'm reading War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells on TikTok every Sunday.
What chapter are you on?
At 10 p.m. We're at chapter 17.
Sunday, folks.
We're at chapter 17 at the moment. So, I mean, I took a break this weekend because I wasn't here. So next weekend we'll be continuing. But the language used in that book is awesome because it's the Victorian language.
Yeah.
It's using all these Victorian words that we don't use today. And I'm reading somehow as I'm going along, and I'm bearing in mind I'm live, I'm getting to this word and I'm going, what the hell does that say? And I had to think it through in my head first before I opened my mouth. And then even though I had thought of the word, I started to say it and it all come out a mess. So I just did the best I could and carried on. I just ignored it. But you look at the books and how they are originally written, and then you look at the film version of it, and there is such a difference. And that was probably why I was so against Spielberg's version of War of the Worlds, because if you read the book, you'll know it wasn't based in America. And yet both films of War of the Worlds were based in America.
See, this is why, right? This is why I admire you for reading books, or MD that reads books on TikTok, right? Because I know what my reading's like when it comes to comments, and I'm like that. Why have got some balls to sit and read on TikTok? I know what I'm like, especially if it comes up with big words, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking me on. And that's what I said to, who was it I was speaking to the other day? Oh, it was Nikki. And I said, Nikki, I said...
You said nothing.
She never said anything.
Okay. I said...
Right, I'm back now. Oh, I'm back now. I was talking to Nikki the other day, and I was like, honestly, I says, you'll have some laugh at me try to pronounce words. I says, cryptids, that's a whole new meaning to the word that I can't say. I says, and it's so funny. I says, because some of the words you'll get a laugh at what I can't say. I says, it doesn't matter how many times I try and say it. I'm like, it doesn't come out like that. I says, that's why I'm blessed with the team that I've got. Anything over 4 words. I can see you getting a kicking before July comes, you prick. See your fingers. You're going to get a kicking.
But the thing is when I do the reading, I don't take any notice of the comments, because I find if I look at the contents, the comments, I end up putting it in the story.
Yeah.
You know, so I could be talking about this 60-foot this tripod taller than the tallest steeple, striding over pine trees and smashing them like they're paper, and then all of a sudden I'll come out with something about, are you still coming to my barbecue next week? You know, and I'll be like, whoa, hang on a minute. Oh shit, I've just read a comment. You know, and I've ended up putting it in the book. So I try my best not to look at the comments. I can't switch them off because that wouldn't then be fair on them, the people that watch it. So I keep the comments on, and then I just sort of catch up with it as quick as I can. So when I get a break, I sort of quickly scan through it. But it's, I don't know. I mean, again, we like Stephen King's films. You know, they start off in book format and then get put onto celluloid. And, you know, a lot of the stories that have been previously written by various people, they get altered because they've got to be fit. They've got to fit in this time span.
I've got to really agree with William. Remakes means that they've ran out of ideas, because I was having this conversation with the other half about how many. Right, this is just my point of view. How many times do you need to make fucking Superman? Or how many times do you need to make Superman? Or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, or how many times, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how many remakes?
I think with some of them, it's because either the writer or somebody thinks that the film should be done the way it was originally written. You look at Stephen King's books, and when they've been put into film, so you've got Stephen King's It, for example, is a prime example.
Yep.
When the first one came out, it was missing so much, and people knew that and saw that and complained about it.
Yep.
So in the end, a director had approached Stephen King and said, we want to remake it, but we want to do it more truer to how you wrote it than the original film.
Yeah.
So, of course, Tim Curry as Pennywise went out the window, and in came this new guy. But this new guy and the visual effects and everything else that they used for that film was so good that it made the film a lot better. The storyline was a lot better as a result. So I think if Spielberg was to redo Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you'd probably end up the same result. That film would be so much better if it was rewritten in a different format, in a different way. That film would be so much better because you'd be able to put so much more into it now.
They changed their waist sizes. Martin says there's no many films that will be classics being made now, except you and Deborah Does Dallas. It's a long way. I'll not be a fucking long way when I get a hold of you, bastard. But it's definitely, it's like, don't get me wrong, I must admit, the one that Stephen watched recently is Superman, and it was a series. The one that he watched recently was really, really good. The one on Amazon Prime is Superman was really good. The Lois and Superman, and I've not seen that. Like, because my favourite one's always been the 90s, Lois and Superman. But the one that was put out there, just was it last year? Was really, really good. Definitely, I really did like it. Who made the Green Mile? The Green Mile.
That's awesome. Crap. That was. Well, that was written by Stephen King. It's a Stephen King book. And I'm sure it was. I'll just double check so I don't drop myself in the poo. Starred Tom Hanks. Was directed by Frank Darabont.
No, one we didn't talk about Steven Spielberg's list.
Do you want to know about Steven Spielberg's list? Do you know when his first ever film was?
Go on then.
Have a guess at what year his first film came out.
About 73.
Try 1959.
Get out. Honestly, what was
His first film, albeit a short film, was called The Last Gun.
Oh.
Or for all you TikTok fans out there, The Last Pew Pew.
The Last Pew Pew.
The Last Pew Pew. Yeah, he did. He did 5 short films, all before 1968.
He played a part in Columbo, the TV.
He did. Yeah, he did one called Slipstream that was unfinished, so it was never released. So he had actually directed into that, and he also wrote it and produced it. So
Chandler's List. We didn't talk about Chandler's List.
I love that film. Love it.
Schindler's Piss, 1993.
Yeah.
Not Schindler's Piss. Chandler's List.
And that Schindler's. That was because Oscar Schindler loved his vodka. Yeah, it was. Although he didn't write it because it was based on true events, that was actually inducted into the National Film Registry in 2004.
Yeah, an amazing film.
An awesome film, but I think that to me is because it was based on true story.
Yeah.
And so
it's a heartbreaking one.
For me, that was more like a docu-film rather than just like movie blockbuster sort of thing. But his first ever feature film beats your guesses for films anyway. It was 1964.
Oh, fuck.
And that was with Firelight, and he actually wrote that as well. But again, that one was partially lost. So no one's actually been able to see that. But the first one where it was actually put through properly was Duel.
Duel, yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And that was in 1971.
I remember that film.
So,
Thank you, Mr. Knowledge.
well, I will not lie. Some of it is Google, but some of it is because I do like Steven Spielberg stuff.
I must admit I do like him. That's why I picked him tonight, because I thought he is.
Yeah,
He
I
is
mean,
director genius.
I mean, he was a director for 11 years, but by the time Jaws came out in 1975, he'd only actually directed 4 films.
Wow.
Up to that point. So when he got to doing Jaws, he was still sort of quite young in the field as such, as far as a director is concerned. And then Jaws hit, and all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah,
it all went nuts, because then
Jaws was a brilliant movie.
straight after Jaws, 2 years later,
Well,
out comes Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, yeah.
2 years after that, 1941 comes out. Again, all of these films are being put in the National Film Registry, which is quite an accolade.
It is.
But then what happens? The biggest franchise of Steven Spielberg's possible future career, Raiders of the Lost Ark, comes along in 1981.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, with that handsome man, Harrison.
And off it goes, exactly. Then a year later, and this again is probably partly down to technology. The technology's getting there, because now we're into the 80s, technology's booming. You've got E.T. and Poltergeist come out in the same year.
Oh,
Yeah,
E.T. phone home.
You know, E.T. phone home. Ouch. So, you know, he got this thing going, and he was becoming known. So his career skyrocketed because of it.
Yeah.
And then you get to another one of my favourites, which I absolutely love, and I so cannot wait for the sequel, which is coming out soon.
What?
The Goonies 2.
No. Oh my God.
Really?
Oh, I love the Goonies.
There is supposed to be an announcement at some point this year, hopefully for release next year, of the Goonies 2.
Oh my God,
guys.
And from what I've heard on the rumor mill, it does involve finding the galleon of One-Eyed Willie.
Oh,
yeah,
Again.
Brilliant, says Martin. He said, I had a friend that was in 1941.
Yeah. It's a brilliant film. But yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the first Goonies, the galleon managed to break its moorings in the cave, didn't it? And it sailed off out to sea.
yeah.
And the apparent storyline for the next one is they manage to find it after it washes up, it gets grounded, and they go out and look for it all again. I'm going to struggle to see how they're going to bring Corey Haim's character in, because obviously Corey Haim's no longer with us, but the others are. And Corey Feldman's keeping quiet. He's not saying whether he's going to be in it or not. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the new Scream coming out?
Don't know about the new Scream, because every time I see the Scream posters or the Scream trailers, I instantly get Scary Movie, the new one. The Wayans brothers return, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, seriously?
Do you know what? I have never watched the Scream films.
I have loved them. did.
I like scary movie because I like that talking bird.
I like one. I like the first one, but it's like you say, Wayne, they're all the same.
Yeah, they do. And when they had a change of directorship, though, and again, the franchise was there, and then the directorship changed. The Wayans brothers didn't do all of them, and now apparently the Wayans brothers are coming back for this new one. So, and apparently the jokes are there. So this one looks quite funny.
I always get a scary movie. Aye, I can imagine when you wake up in the morning.
We have, when you were saying about we were saying about Spielberg and him drip feeding us information about aliens. We have got one coming out this year. It's still in post-production, and it's called Disclosure Day.
Oh, fabulous.
In fact, somebody mentioned that actually at the top of the comments.
Yeah, well, me and Mark have discussed it before on the Dartmere radio show.
Oh, in fact, what happened to you guys last night? I was looking for you.
I was suffering from a severe paranormal hangover, and I am surprised that a post wasn't put up. But yeah, I was suffering badly from a paranormal hangover after the journey home, because I think we left about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got here about 10 o'clock, wasn't it? 10 o'clock at night? Half 11 at night I got here.
Oh,
so it took us 13 and a half hours to get home on Sunday. Because we had to stop in different places, and poor Kelly ran out of fuel, so we had to be saved with a tank of fuel. Then we were driving all over the place, and then Kelly was like, "Oh, I'm going to drive home." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're staying here the night. You're going to get a good night's sleep, and then you're going home tomorrow morning."
God forbid there was a killer dress like that coming for me, because I'd just pissed myself laughing.
Yeah.
I thought you told me you found the Scream outfit sexy. That's what you said to me. You said, Willow, you said, I find the Scream outfit sexy. That's what you told me once. Sorry, we're live. Oh, shit. Sorry, man. I didn't mean it to let out your secret. Anyway, back to the show.
So yeah, Disclosure Day. It's obviously a science fiction film, but it was taken from a screenplay by David Coop, based on the story by Spielberg. Ooh. So you've got a story writer. The screenwriter is taken a story written by Steven Spielberg and then given it back to him to direct as a film.
Right.
I'm trying to see what it's about, but obviously it's about disclosure. Let's have a look.
I want to see who's in it.
It's due to be released in June, but it stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell, Elizabeth Marvel. I mean, from what I can see here, there's only 3 big names in it.
Michael Guerrero Jr.'s in it. Surprise, surprise.
But they haven't actually gone into detail about what the film's about, which I think is self-explanatory, to be honest. But it is a UFO film based on his own original idea. So I personally think it's not just his idea. I think it's something that he's been working on with other people. And like we said, if he's worked with,
I'll see if I can play this trailer. This is not my trailer. I might get copyright, but never mind.
Would that frighten you? Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Let's. Today is. Today's.
Let's.
a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm going to show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once. People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown. They are starved for the truth.
Do you think there could be others?
Yeah.
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us?
I might get
Right.
copyrighted for that one, but hey ho. First
Okay.
time.
Now, when that lady was talking, she then whoever it was, Emily Blunt, whatever her name was. When the meteorologist starts talking, and she starts clicking, doesn't she? She makes the clicking noises, and at the end there, you heard the clicking noises. I saw the official trailer before it was officially released, and I commented saying that M. Night Shyamalan must be doing his nut. And I was asked why. And I said, because the aliens in the film Signs spoke in the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
They used a series of clicks and tones
Yeah.
as their language. And it looks like Spielberg is doing the same thing. He's using these clicks and tones as part of the alien language.
Yeah.
And he's tying it up. He's trying to get it all to match.
And and
Yeah.
it seems a bit strange how 2 directors, and they're both awesome, both of them are awesome directors, but why have they committed themselves to have the aliens speaking the same language?
That's weird.
Well, it's not like they can hear that language, Wayne.
Someone, exactly. I mean, someone with the vision like Steven Spielberg is quite capable of creating his own languages. I mean, he speaks a lot with George Lucas, who did Star Wars.
Yeah.
Spielberg worked with on Star Wars alongside George Lucas, and George Lucas has worked alongside with Spielberg on things like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So there is no reason why Spielberg couldn't have created a language that was apart from M. Night Shyamalan's Signs aliens.
Yeah.
But they're identical.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether this film is another part of that drip feed.
Yeah.
Do you know, sometimes when you think about what's going on and what films they're making and stuff, and the very clever people who are doing all this, it's like going back to cave paintings. They only paint what they've seen.
Yeah. And I just personally think Steven Spielberg, because we're supposed to all have disclosure by next year.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I just think it's very convenient that Steven Spielberg is producing and going to release a film about disclosure before disclosure.
Mm.
Yep. No, I agree.
It just seems all a little bit strange. We're going to be given all this information, and then all of a sudden, oh look, Steven Spielberg, the man behind Close Encounters, who used a UFO expert in his films and as an advisor, is all of a sudden bringing out a film about disclosure.
No,
how convenient is that?
No, definitely. Well, guys, we're going to have to wrap up the show now, but thank you, Wayne, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Definitely want you back without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know where Richard's got to. I need to see if he fell down the well. He's
probably still eating his dinner.
That must have been an offer dinner.
Well, I've never eaten. I tell you, I've never eaten a Chinese so fast.
Oh, please don't do that, because that's like acid.
My Chinese meal turned up at 20 to 7.
Jeez.
I dished it up and ate all of mine and got on by the time it was 7:05.
You're some man, Wayne.
I was quite hungry. I hadn't eaten anything all day, so it went down rather quick.
Yeah. At least you've had something.
See that, man. But thank you very much to everybody who's joined us tonight, even that cheeky bastard, Martin. On Thursday, guys, we will have the lovely Nikki who will be joining us. On Friday, we will have Michael. So it will be a jam-packed week, and it will be definitely a fun week. But everybody have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week if we don't see you soon. See you later, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye.